Some would say it was a match made in heaven. A bride from Chinandega, Nicaragua. The groom, a Honduran raised on both sides of the border. Rigoberto Reyes was a successful agricultural engineer, but he and Claudia needed help to have a successful marriage. The Lord led them to a marriage seminar in Honduras being given by Missions Door missionary Humberto del Arca. Humberto's vision of leading this couple to the Lord would soon merge with his vision to begin planting churches in the neighboring country of Nicaragua. God was preparing the Reyeses for missions in Nicaragua, and he was preparing Nicaragua for them. The Civil War of the 1980s left the country the second poorest nation in the Western Hemisphere. People were faced with a towering unemployment rate, and they were left in a spiritual vacuum. Rigoberto and Claudia were studying the Bible and church planting under Humberto, but their growing compassion for the lost would soon turn their hearts south to Nicaragua. Begun through the early efforts of Humberto and taken on by the newly appointed Reyeses, the work there was officially inaugurated in the summer of 2001. God had prepared Nicaragua for the Reyeses. The site of Claudia's parents' former restaurant in Chinandega was soon transformed into a church. The bread of life was on the menu, and people were hungry. Today, the programs include evangelism, discipleship, leadership training, church planting, children's and youth ministries, and outreach to gangs and prison ministry. And there is a vocational training program in welding and carpentry, along with the marketing of their products. Church and facilities construction has been carried out by U.S. and international partnering programs. In 2009, Rigoberto's passion for the poor and his professional agricultural training came together on 70 acres of hard, marginal soil in northwestern Nicaragua. But it was 70 acres of land with a promise that would be shared by the people of the surrounding villages, that with the right techniques and proper training, those fields could be made to produce a bountiful harvest. And by planting the Word of God along with every training session and agricultural procedure, there would also be a harvest of souls, a harvest of righteousness. With 25 churches, an Extension Bible Institute, multiple programs, and now the farm, Rigoberto needed help. The farm, Finca Belen, was being developed not only for agriculture, but as the new base for the vocational programs. Then in 2011, Rigoberto accepted the position of Central America Ministry Director and responsibility for oversight in 7 countries. Who could help carry the load? Just as God had prepared Rigoberto and Claudia for Nicaragua, he was preparing Juan Carlos, their son, to be his right-hand man. When his family left for ministry in Nicaragua in 2001, Juan Carlos remained in Honduras to complete his university studies and to spend several years in business management. But he knew in his heart that he was called to serve the Lord. In 2011, Juan Carlos was appointed by Missions Door as a second-generation missionary to serve alongside his father, whom he calls his greatest example. Juan Carlos writes in his biography, "We are a family that loves God and wants to serve Him with all our strength, heart, and soul. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord." His ministry, ranging from evangelism to leadership training, and from church planting to community development, has been indispensable. But financial partners are needed to sustain the growth of the ministry and to provide for his family. With little of their support committed, they have nevertheless demonstrated an uncommon dedication to carry on the work. Would you consider an investment in this ministry? To those trapped in poverty, marginalized, disadvantaged, and with no hope? Your investment in the Nicaraguan ministry through the lives of Juan Carlos and Gisela Reyes is an investment that will make a significant impact. Then your partnership with them will be a match made in heaven.